Welcome back to Christian Questions on News Talk 104.7 WXLM. Our subject this morning, is there eternal fire in hell? To be a part of our program, call 860-442-9956. That's 442-WXLM.
And Jonathan, we are looking at the Greek word Gehenna and saying, okay, when you talk about the lake of fire, when you talk about, you read in the scriptures where it talks about where the fire doesn't go out, where worms don't die, it's using that particular word. Now, the interesting thing about that word is a place.
Mm-hmm.
It is a specific valley in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's read a very short paragraph from Nelson's Illustrated Bible Dictionary.
What is Gehenna? The Valley of Hinnom. In the time of Jesus, the Valley of Hinnom was used as the garbage dump of Jerusalem. Into it were thrown all the filth and garbage of the city, including the dead bodies of animals and executed criminals. To consume all this, fires burned constantly. Maggots worked in the filth. When the wind blew from the direction over the city, its awfulness was quite evident. At night, wild dogs howled and gnashed their teeth as they fought over the garbage.
So, Jonathan, this was literally a valley outside of Jerusalem that was a garbage dump. There was sulfur that was thrown into this valley.
To keep it constantly burning.
Right. So you've got this, and that's what brimstone is. Brimstone is sulfur. You have that. You have fires that don't go out because the things that were thrown in there were supposed to be consumed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a number of questions arise. First of all, the glaring question is this a picture of eternal torment? At face value, the answer would be no. And the reason for that is very, 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 very simple. This was a valley outside of Jerusalem under Jewish jurisdiction. The Jews tortured nothing.
That's right.
That was positively against their law. Okay. Secondly, the valley was used as a place, instead of burying the bodies of particularly bad criminals, they threw the bodies into this valley to be consumed. Okay? The dead bodies. It was a place where things were supposed to be utterly destroyed. Maggots were plentiful.
They worked on the outside edges where the fire wasn't hot,
right,
and destroyed everything.
An interesting point on this Valley of Hinnom is why this became the garbage dump that it became, because there's history behind it. Let's read some of that history. That's in Jeremiah 19, verses 2 through 6.
And go forth unto the valley of the son of Hinnom, which is by the entry of the gate of Harseth, and proclaim there the words that I shall tell thee, and say, Hear ye the word of Jehovah, O kings of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem. Thus saith Jehovah of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will bring evil upon this place, which whosoever heareth, his ears shall tingle, because they have forsaken me, and have estranged this place, and have burnt incense in it unto other gods, that they knew not. They and their fathers and the kings of Judah, and have filled this place with the blood of innocents, and have built the high places of Baal, to burn their sons in the fire for burnt offerings unto Baal, which I commanded not, nor spake it, neither came it into my mind. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Jehovah, that this place shall no more be called Topheth, nor the valley of the son of Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter.
So, Jonathan, there is a sickening story behind this becoming a garbage dump. And the story is, in ancient Israel, there was a turning away from God toward worshiping Baal. Part of the worship of Baal, and folks, I apologize for even saying this, but part of the worship of Baal was the sacrificing of young children in fire, burning them alive.
To this god Baal.
Right. And that's what happened in this valley. God says in Jeremiah, he was so disgusted by that they should turn it into a garbage dump. They should clear it out and not let anything there grow again. That's what he said. Now, when you look at some of the commentators, they give an explanation, and again, this gets a little bit graphic here, but this is important because this is the history behind this garbage dump. So Gill says that this place shall no more be called Topheth. Now, why does he say that? You see where I am?
Yep.
Okay.
As it had been from the beating of drums in it, that the cries and shrieks of infants burnt in the fire might not be heard by their parents.
Nor shall be called the valley of the son of Hinnom, and Gill says about that.
Which was its name in the times of Joshua, and long before it was called Topheth, but now it shall have neither names.
But it shall be called the valley of slaughter.
Or of the slain, as the Targum, from the multitude of those that should be killed here at the siege of taking of Jerusalem by the army of the Chaldeans, or that should be brought hither to be buried.
Okay, and it's talking about a massive slaughter that took place there. And if we look at Isaiah 66:24, what does it say?
And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh.
This is what Jesus is quoting. This is what Jesus is referring to. He's referring to this garbage dump. He's referring to this place of slaughter where fires were kept burning, where you have clear references in the Old Testament to. Okay, not only the physical location, but the activities. And the interesting thing is that in the Isaiah 66 scripture, it's talking about this becoming a place of abhorring unto all flesh because there were carcasses, human carcasses, left there to be burnt and rot. And again, that's a disgusting picture. But that's what it's a picture of. It's a picture of complete, total, utter destruction and annihilation. That's what it is. That's what it was there for. That when you mentioned that valley, that's what you thought of. You didn't think of people screaming. You thought of destruction. You thought of garbage being consumed. And if you had a relative who was a criminal and whose body was thrown in there, that was a disgrace. There was no torture, but there was disgrace because they weren't buried. They didn't have a proper burial. So that's the history behind this valley. So when we look at the scriptures and Jesus brings up this valley,